It's a jolly day. Would you like to try our peach mango pie with a side of the Grey's Attorney? Because if you do, then let's go ahead and get started.
Hiya, hey everyone, welcome in. We're finally back. I missed him, the love of my life, Yunosuke Naruhodo. Alrighty. Good to see everyone. Astrolo, thank you so much for being first. Tough Tony, hiya to you. Moonlight, hello. I hope everyone is doing great today. Oh my god. Hi Lyra, I've been like, I've been so nervous and anxious because my trip is literally in like 3 days. I have tomorrow, today's what, Tuesday or Wednesday? Is today Tuesday or Wednesday? Today's Tuesday. I have tomorrow, and then the day after, and then I leave. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Like literally before stream, I was submitting all of my stuff to make sure that I'm approved to go on my trip and whatnot. And like I was just like, oh my god, it's here. Because I literally remember when I told you guys about this trip when I got the tickets and stuff in November, and I'm like, wow, time flies so fast. I can't believe it's already here. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. Like there's been a lot happening. A lot's been coming and going, and I just need to take a deep breath and calm down and chill out and just go with the flow. Hope you're doing great, dude. I'm also doing good and chilling myself. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really, really happy to hear that. I'm glad you get to go on a trip, and we hope you enjoy that trip. Don't stress yourself. Yeah, for sure. It's been like, I don't know. I think I'm just having like pre-trip jitters. But you know, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. But I am curious though. Today's check-in question is, what are some things you do to cool off when you're feeling nervous or anxious? Because, you know, I'd like to hear what you guys do. For me personally, I would say I like doing breathing exercises if I remember to do them. I think this is pretty obvious with the amount of BRBs that I do, but I'm like a nervous peer. So if I get really nervous, I just go to the bathroom. But those usually, for some reason, that usually helps me feel a little bit better too. I'm going on a trip tomorrow. Oh, enjoy your trip. I hope you have fun. Something singing or meditation. That's right. I remember when I was doing some of the horror games, I would do some singing to help calm down as well. So that is a pretty good tactic. For sure. Oh my god. Oh, I love Great Ace Attorney. Ryu is such a lad. Oh my god, Ryunosuke Naruto, my beloved. I love him so much. I love him. I love his boyfriend, Kazuma. I love everyone in this series is so hot. Everyone in Great Ace Attorney is hot. Everyone in Ace Attorney is hot. I'm so excited to be playing this game. I hope you guys are just as excited because I don't remember where we left off. I know that we're on case 4. It looks like the save says that we are in part 1 of the trial, so we just finished the investigation stuff. I believe, if I remember right, this is the case where we are helping a Japanese man who is studying in Britain, who's been convicted of stabbing, not murder, but stabbing. And you know, he has no one on his side to defend him. And I believe all of us, we all really support him. We all really liked him. It's been a while because I was on break because of Fire Emblem, but I definitely wanted to squeeze in at least one Ace Attorney stream before I headed off. I usually draw or watch some of my favorite streamers and YouTubers. Like I was watching you and some of my favorite YouTubers yesterday. I was stressed out with school. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Hopefully the streams can bring a smile to your face. Or I eat. Oh, yeah, eating's also pretty good too. But yeah, I was thinking about, I wasn't sure if I was gonna stream today or not, just because I have to start packing, and I have to like do my research and make sure that what I'm bringing is okay and stuff like that. But anyways, I think I can try squeezing in at least the first half of this trial, at least the first part of this trial. I think I might end stream at around like 9 or 10 o'clock, just so I have some time to get some rest and get some stuff done. And then tomorrow, hopefully we'll see if I can try and do a live Nintendo Direct reaction. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, I hope everyone is doing good. Let's go ahead and get started with the trial. Oh, I think, can I look at the history? Yes, okay, let's just take a brief look at what the history is here really fast. Hold on. Just give me 1 second. Hold on. I believe the last thing we did in the court trial was we looked at the map and we were trying to make sure that the way that our sweet little man was walking home was not going to be the way where he would stab the victim. Calabash Road, that's right. Blah, 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 blah. Let me see. There were eyewitnesses to the incident. No matter who Mr. Van Zykes brings to the stand as his witness, no matter what they say, I believe in Soseki-san. Soseki-san, that's right, he's so cute. I know he's innocent. I'll keep believing to the... Okay, all right, let's go on.
Witness, please state your names and occupations for this court.
Constable Roy Beat. Sir, nothing to report on the streets, sir. And I'm
Mrs. Beat. Patricia's my name. I'm proud to say I'm this young town hero's wife.
What's the story here?
Well, in truth, we've not been married long. In fact, we celebrated our first anniversary only the other day.
No, it was your husband I was talking about. He seems, tired.
Oddly surprising. Whilst being an honorable occupation, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world.
Oh, really? I'm sure I've heard that before, actually.
Indeed, apart from the rare days off, our gallant officers trudge some 20 miles a day, you know. They patrol boarding houses and pubs, collect taxes, survey the streets, check the meters are reading true. And they're responsible for keeping the streets clean and lighting and extinguishing our streetlights.
I'm gonna throw this out there, but I'm excited to see you go on a trip, but also kind of sad because you're leaving us for a bit. But you deserve a nice trip for a break. Don't worry, I got you guys covered. At the very end of the stream, I will show the infographics again so you guys can see some of my streamer friends that I totally recommend you guys check out while I'm away. So do not worry your pretty little heads. The snoring noises, are they snoring noises? I don't know, I'm just coming up with something.
There are a number of items on that list that don't sound much like policing duties at all.
I wouldn't just be falling asleep on my feet. I'd have collapsed long ago.
But it goes without saying that a policeman's primary duty is the apprehension of criminals. Even when he's off duty, a constable is expected to investigate and resolve any crimes on his beat. Father London Bobby is a man of honor.
And a man of slumber.
On the day in question, this man and his wife were walking down Briar Road in the opposite direction, and they witnessed the incident as it occurred. Is that not correct, Mr. and Mrs. Beat?
That's right, sir. Isn't it, Rolly?
Constable, Rolly Beat, sir. Nothing to report on the street, sir.
What a great witness he's going to be.
Yes, very good, very good. I'd like to hear your formal testimonies now, please. You will tell the court exactly what you saw on the afternoon of the incident.
Yes, sir.
Witness testimony. What the witnesses saw.
It was our wedding anniversary, and Rolly was taking me out for a meal. There was no time to change after work. Anyway, two silhouettes appeared out of the fog on the pavement in front of us. All of a sudden, one of them just collapsed on the floor. Then the other scattered something before running off. We ran straight over, of course, and then went for help at a nearby police box. It was definitely that Japanese man on the dock. Rolly and I both saw him as clear as day.
Well, this is extremely compelling testimony, I must say.
Oh dear. This policeman and his wife are claiming to have positively identified Mr. Natsume at the scene. If their testimony is true, the alternative course of events that you established in your summation examination will be quashed.
It's death knell, in fact. Because that alternative was never viable in the first place. What an unfortunate bit chancing. And on your wedding anniversary, too.
Oh, I know! But I still managed to go out for the evening with my mans. I thank the Lord for that. Gosh, the life of a London Bobby sounds very hard indeed.
Indeed. However, this cross-examination will be over in minutes. You may well have time to rest this afternoon.
What do you mean by that?
My learned friend, the witnesses saw the face of the man fleeing the scene.
Oh, so for those of you that are just joining for the Great Ace Attorney streams, so this is set in like the era of like Japan like opening up its borders and like conversing with the West. So a lot of the we're currently in Britain, and a lot of the characters here are going to be if not racist, like prejudiced towards Japanese folk. So yeah, I mean obviously they're I don't know, like it's not like they're like using slurs or anything like that, but at the same time they'll be like, oh, you're Japanese, you're inferior. So I probably should have given a warning about that. But yes, so we kind of don't really stan the British characters here, but unfortunately Van Zykes is a sexy man, so a lot of people kind of just like not look the other way, but it's like, oh, he's sexy, so it's like I'll just pretend he's not kind of sort of racist. But like, I don't really like, Van Zykes is like, yeah, he's conventionally attractive, but I'm not like, I'm gonna excuse that from you, Van Zykes. I don't excuse it.
They are testifying under an oath that it was without doubt the accused Soseki Natsume.
Kazuma is hotter, maybe it's because I'm into pathetic men? If you're into pathetic men, then you're into Ryunosuke, not Kazuma.
And one of the witnesses is a policeman, no less. So you appreciate the gravity of the situation, I'm sure.
Except that the man's so tired, his wife has to do all the talking.
Enough preamble. Counsel for the defense. Commence the cross-examination, please.
Yes, my lord. Have you played the Escapade one, Kazuma? No, so this is completely blind. I haven't played any, all the Ace Attorney games that I'm playing on stream, I'm playing for the first time. What the witnesses saw. And of course, please, 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 guys, do not spoil, do not offer any hints, do not make any speculations, unless I ask for it. Hold it! No time to change after work, you say? Are you also a member of the police, Mrs. Beat?
Oh no, sadly not. It's a job for strapping young men only. Women, children, and the elderly can't even apply.
Well, I think you can probably see why children and the elderly can't do the job, can you?
I think Rolly looks ever so handsome in his uniform. It suits you down to the ground, doesn't it, darling?
What? I just finished my beat. Pat and I were heading back to the station. I was actually planning on getting changed there.
Is he talking in his sleep? Oh, this is creepy.
Oh no, Rolly. I much prefer you in uniform. Sometimes I don't recognize you when I see you in plain clothes. Oh dear, that doesn't seem healthy.
Kindly adhere to the point. You were going for a meal after you finished your beat for the day, correct?
That's right, sir, yes. Although I was fit to drop, to be honest, after spending the whole day on my feet. But policing is my life, sir. As long as I'm the proud owner of this, I'll serve my city and my queen to the end. What's that now? My warrant card, sir. A proof that I'm a London corper. as the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty to patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. Sir, and for such a noble cause, I cover 20 miles every single day without fail, with and without a grumble. Because I know that the plodding of my boots is all Londoners need to hear to feel safe and secure. So, fighting crime doesn't appear to come into it then. But sir, just on the one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. You guys are really simping out here for Rolly? Mrs. Beat puts up with a lot with being, oh my god, with being married to a Bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rolly. Oh, what a charming couple. Their young love is such a joy to behold.
If a little over the top, perhaps. Ryunosuke, I don't know what you're talking about. You're literally like the gayest man on earth with your boyfriend.
And then, kindly describe what happened next.
Hold it! Two silhouettes.
That's right. They were coming towards us, walking up Briar Road in the opposite direction. There was a rather plump figure, followed by a scrawny, thin-looking man. That does sound exactly like the victim as pictured in this print, and like Mr. Natsume.
Yes, unfortunately it does.
And you're certain that at the time there was nobody else nearby?
Oh yes, quite certain. It was dark, but there are streetlights on Briar Road, you see?
Guys, oh my god, I'm so excited when I go to Japan. The first things I have to look for, first of all, I gotta see if there's any Diamant merch yet. If there isn't, then I gotta look for some good old Ace Attorney. I gotta bring home all the Ace Attorney that I can. I think there's a Capcom store. I gotta see if the Capcom store is in Tokyo or not.
There was nobody else around at all. Isn't that right, my darling?
Yes, that's right. Of course, there was a light fog on the ground. But Briar Road is dead straight, and you could see a fairly long way down the pavement. And then there's the street lighting as well. I didn't see any other...
Before sleep takes a firm hold, your answer, please. Mr. Beat, are you quite sure of what you just said?
Have you played through Game 2? Is this your first time through them? This is my first time through the entire Ace Attorney series. So Ace Attorney 1 that I beat a few months back, that was my first time. This is my first time playing through Great Ace Attorney. So the game plan is I'm going to play Great Ace Attorney 1 once we finish, because we're on case 4, so we're almost done. Once I finish game 1, we're going to go into Great Ace Attorney 2, and then we're going to go back into Phoenix Wright 2. Hold on, I wanted to see where the... I was looking up where the Capcom store is. Hold on. It is in... Is it in Tokyo? Oh, it's in Shibuya! Oh, hell yeah! I'm gonna go to the Capcom store then! I'm gonna bring home all the Ace Attorney that I can. Hold on. Oh my god. Okay. For sure.
I'm sure... as my love for Patricia is true. Oh, Pat.
Oh,
Rolly. They're still maintaining there was no one else around other than the victim and the attacker. It's starting to seem like that must be how it really happened.
It's beginning to seem like there's nowhere to run.
Well, that didn't stop Mr. Natsume, did it? He fled the scene all too convincingly.
Thank you. I believe we have a reasonably clear idea of the situation just before the incident now. What happened in the crucial moments that followed?
God, I love the way he says hold it. It sounds so cute.
Hold it!
Scattered something? What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, I couldn't quite make out what it was at the time. But then when we got closer, we realized what it was. Didn't we, darling?
Yes, that's right. It was some old books.
I see. Old books.
Yes, sir. The culprit had dropped a number of them all around where the victim lay on the pavement.
Indeed, as clearly pictured in this photographic print.
That rotten Japanese man did that when he did the deed. And I'm not talking about the fucking.
Let's not forget that it remains to be established that the defendant was indeed the attacker.
But we saw him. It was the man in the dark without question, sir. The mustache, the hunched back, the cat-like eyes, the taut mouth, the snub nose, everything.
Any more insults you want to throw in?
That's right. He looked down at that poor, defenseless woman with those terrifying, intense eyes. And then suddenly threw his books onto the pavement and ran away.
I see. This is tough. They seem as though they're telling the truth here.
May I remind the court that this unambiguous testimony comes from a policeman and his wife. Now please, continue.
Yes, sir!
Hold it!
Was it your husband who went to fetch help?
No, I went. I may not be a police officer myself, but I am the proud wife of one after all. Isn't that right, my darling?
What? Yes. That's right. I asked Mrs. Beat to go. I was off duty by that point. But a Bobby's never truly off duty, of course, so I felt obliged to stay and guard the scene.
Very laudable, Mr. Beat. Preserving the scene of a crime is a task of considerable importance.
That's why I sent Patricia, you see. I told her where to find the right police box.
Forgive my ignorance, but what do you exactly mean by the right police box?
Depends on a crime's location, you see, as to who deals with it. Where the woman was stabbed wasn't actually on my beat. So I told Patricia the way to the police box for the beat the incident fell under so she could go and report it.
I ran there as quickly as I could and asked for help from the Bobby on duty. There is nothing more potent than a young couple in love working together, you know.
And thanks to your swift response, the case was quickly resolved. The actions of two model citizens.
Oh, please, you're making us blush. Isn't he, darling?
Yes, sir. What Patricia said, sir.
Let's move on, shall we?
But surely you wouldn't have been able to see his face by the light of the gas street lamps, would you?
We absolutely could! Us Londoners have exceptional eyesight, I'll have you know!
Right.
The light of the street lamps was more than enough! And my husband already told you that the fog was only light, didn't he?
Casey, hello. I hope you're doing good. Yes, and what of the fog? I know that poor man.
We're famous for it across the globe, I believe. But it's an absolute menace to those of us who have to live with it, of course.
No, it is! When it's thick, you can't even see the hand at the end of your own arm!
Yes, all right, I take your point. Now, could you stop shaking your husband about? I have no idea what's happening. It's been a wild case. So basically, to sum it up, our client was accused of stabbing a woman. And right now, these witnesses claim to have seen them, and we're just trying to pick apart their case and see if there's any conflicting evidence or any details that might be wrong or falsified or anything like that.
The constant fog makes our eyes very sharp, you see. That's why we can tell you for sure and certain that it was the little Japanese man we saw. Can't we, darling?
What? Yes, it was the accused and no mistake. The mustache, the hunchback, the cat-like eyes, the twat mouth, the snub nose. Unmistakable, sir. No. It's kind of like a off-the-cuff kind of joke, because the victim was a portly woman. And so they're like, oh, she looks like a big man. Is the victim on here? Yeah, this is the victim, olive green. Yeah.
As far as this couple's testimony is concerned, there can't be any question. It was Soseki-san they saw running away from the scene of the crime. So that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony?
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, it really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they saw. Mr. Natsume running away from the scene on Briar Road that day.
Yes, I feel the same.
So if that's true, where does it leave us?
The members of the jury are sure to call for a guilty verdict after this testimony.
Oh no! Then what do we do?
If Kazuma-sama were here...
What are you trying to say?
I think he would try to find a contradiction somewhere else within their testimony.
What do you mean, somewhere else?
Their statement about seeing Mr. Natsume is unequivocal. Calling that into question won't help. But if you could identify some other part of their testimony which appears to contradict the facts, you might be able to discredit them to make the jury doubt if the pair's memory of the day is accurate.
Oh, right.
Put simply, we must focus on finding a discrepancy in these statements somewhere. If we don't, I'm afraid the trial may reach an early and unfavorable conclusion.
Why do I always seem to be so up against it?
Mr. Lawyer, sir, can I ask you something?
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
Well, you keep asking us all these questions about everything we've told you, so... It seems like you don't believe her testimony. Is that right? Is it? Well, out with it.
What? No. Oh, no, it's really not that at all.
My husband's a policeman, remember? And I know what we saw. I remember every last detail. Everything like... Oh, I know. What about the books the man dropped? I could tell you the names of every single one. I could. Every single one. And you dare to question how reliable my testimony is?
That will do, Miss Beat.
No, it won't do it. Oh! The Japanese lawyer has no idea what I'm capable of. And even if I decide to forgive him for insulting us, don't think for a minute that Rolly will.
I really didn't mean to cause offense. Please put your husband's fist down.
Perhaps you would like the opportunity to supplement your testimony, Miss Beat. Might that appease you?
Oh, thank you, my lord. That would settle things nicely. Wouldn't it, darling? I could even tell you the names of the 4 books he dropped at the scene.
Hold it!
Yes, we know that there were books dropped at the scene of the crime, as you say.
Those purchased by the accused at the nearby second-hand bookshop on the day in the question.
After I'd been to the police box for help, I decided to have a good look over the area for good measure. I am a proud policeman's wife, after all. I did it for Rolly.
And what was your husband doing at the time?
Oh, he was lying face down in the snow, getting some well-deserved rest. He works ever so hard, you know. Ever so hard. Don't you, my darling?
Interesting way of guarding the scene of the crime.
Well, Miss Beat, seeing as you've regaled the court with the tales of your prowess of recollection, would you be so kind as to recount the titles of the books you've observed at the scene?
I'd be happy to. Now, are all of you listening? There was The Picture of Monsieur Somebody or Other, and What's It Yearnings, and then there was, A Meal for Someone, and the last one was definitely The Thingamy Something.
Let's confirm that. Let's read the facts. A picture of Monsieur Emile Thingamy. Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, A Meal for Gaborio, Canterbury Yearnings. It's a lie! He only bought 3 books!
You see?
Yes, I see there are 1 or 2 holes in your memory.
Oh, well, they were along the lines, I'm quite sure.
There were indeed books found at the scene with titles along those lines, as you put it.
Well, what did I tell you? So I think it's very mean the way you've been implying that my testimony can't be trusted. Don't you agree, darling?
Anyone who upsets my Patricia will have to answer too?
Terrifying.
Yes, she really is. So, that's it, is it? That's their entire testimony? What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo? Well, I hate to admit it, but on hearing the testimony, It really does seem as though Mr. and Mrs. Beat saw what they saw. Oh wait, no. Wait, no, we gotta go back to that last one. There's a contradiction. I know exactly what it is. Oh no. Let's go ahead and save our game first, just in case. I love the little jingle, the rum bum 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 rum bum bum bum. Oh my god, has it really almost been a month since I last played Ace Attorney? Objection! So, you're saying that there were 4 books?
That's right. I remember all of them. The picture of Monsieur Somebody, what's it yearnings, a meal for someone, and the finger me something.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Beat. But there's a fundamental flaw in that statement of yours.
Oh no! What flaw?
Simply that, at the scene of the crime, there were only 3 books, not 4!
What?
This is the receipt from the bookshop where the defendant brought his books.
Your mama books?
Yes, and it details Mr. Natsume's purchases that day. But as you can see, only 3 books are listed.
Only 3? But no, that can't be. I remember seeing them.
Gotta go to bed? No problem. Thanks for hanging out. Take care and have a good night.
There were 4 books, I tell you. 4 dirty old books.
Oh, really? Have a good look at this photographic print of the scene of the crime. As you can clearly see from this evidence as well, there are only 3 books.
But I just don't believe it. I saw them there. I swear it, I saw them.
No, madam. I'm afraid your powers of observation cannot be relied upon. So it cannot be denied that though you say it was the defendant you saw, you could very well be mistaken!
Oh no!
Objection!
Ooh.
It's plainly evident that it is your powers of deduction that cannot be relied upon, my learned Nipponese friend.
What?
What cannot be denied is that these 2 witnesses saw the accused running from the scene. A fact that you know very well have you no hope of disproving. So you've striven to avert attention from that by dint of some inconsequential discrepancies. Would that be fair?
He sees right through me.
But your plan has somewhat recoiled against you.
What are you talking about?
It's quite simple. Let me explain with a toast. To the policeman's wife and her entirely accurate testimony in every respect.
Hi, good to see you too. Welcome in.
Oh,
You see, the matter is not up for debate. At the scene on Briar Road, a total of 4 books were most definitely found.
Objection!
But what about the photographic print? It only shows 3 books.
Quite right. Only 3 can be seen in that print.
That print? You mean to say?
Allow me to present another. One that shows the victim's head.
The lion's pride. I don't believe it. It's the 4th book.
As you will observe. The 4th book was hidden from view in the original print by the victim's torso.
No! No!
Order! Order!
There! You see? You see? Look at that! Look at that! Look! Look! Look!
Yes.
It's just like I said! Isn't it, my darling?
Yes, sir! Patricia's always right, sir!
Let us study the receipts for the books purchased by the accused on the day in question. Mrs. Beat, the titles once again, if you please.
Oh, yes, of course. The picture of Monsieur somebody or other.
The picture of Monsieur Lecoq.
What's it, yearnings?
Canterbury Yearnings.
A meal for someone?
A meal for Gaboriau, in fact. As the court just heard, the witness remembers the book titles flawlessly, save for a few minor details. Mrs. Beat's powers of recollection can only be described as exceptional.
Did you hear that, Rolly? The gentleman paid me a compliment.
Yes, sir! Flawless, sir! Patricia is flawless.
Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and take a second to eat my dinner really fast, because I'm feeling a little. I'm feeling a little hungry. Just let me have some of my salad. Okay. Definitely needed to eat dinner. Warm. Okay. Yep, I really needed this. For some reason, when it comes to Ace Attorney, I really need to eat, like, in the middle of my Ace Attorney stream. Because, like, talking and reading all the dialogue gets me, like, really, like, it takes a lot of my energy. Oh, my fork. The salad's really good because they give a lot of chicken. All right. If you could hear the eating ASMR, you are welcome / I'm sorry. But there are only 3 books on the receipt, and Miss Beat mentioned 4.
There's nothing surprising about that. Clearly, the 4th book is that which is shown on the photographic print. I'm sorry, counsel, but does that not seem odd? Why should the 4th book be omitted from the receipt? It's not odd at all, my lord. As the photographic print clearly shows, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, it belongs to the victim.
The victim was holding her own book?
I wonder, what became of that fourth book?
Obviously, it wasn't overlooked by the investigating officers at Scotland Yard. I have it here as the evidence. You will submit that and the aforementioned photographic print to the court?
I mean, wait, hold on, let's get it.
My pleasure, my lord.
Hold on, wait, let's look at that really fast, because I looked at that photo, and I need to say, is it not, does
Prosecution rests.
this book not look chewed? Does it not look like it's been chewed? Like, there's definitely marks there, and this one looks fine. I can't find anything out of place.
Let me see. It's a book entitled The Lion's Pride.
I'm afraid I don't know any English literature at all, so it wouldn't be something I've heard. Wait a minute! The Lion's Pride? That's strange. I think I've heard of a book by that name before, and very recently too.
It's a title I recognize too, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh. Okay, okay, yeah, this is the one then.
Oh, look at this. The book has been badly burnt.
You're right. You'd never be able to read it in this state, especially not the latter pages.
What a terrible waste. Judging from the scorched edges of the paper, I think the damage must have occurred very recently.
A book. Recently damaged by the fire. Why does that seem like a red flag with me? The fourth book's information has been updated in the court record. Burnt.
I have nothing further to add.
What?
You seem surprised, my learned friend. But your resistance until now has been in vain. Entertaining, yes, but futile. The spurious longer route to the accused's lodgings that you tried to establish in your summation examination, and the attempted discrediting of the witness's powers of recollection in your cross-examination.
Futile? I walked right into this, didn't I?
You see? Everything we said is true. Isn't that right, my darling?
Yes, Pat. Marry me, Pat.
So, perhaps the ladies and gentlemen of the jury would like to reconsider their positions. Should the court waste any more time on this Nipponese travesty? Or is the decision you have to make all too apparent already? You have heard all of the witnesses and seen all of the evidence. This trial has run its course.
Mr. Naruhodo, I'm afraid we are in a terribly precarious position.
I know, but... If I fight back in the wrong way now, it could very well just make matters worse. Think, Ryunosuke. Think. What do you do now? What should we do? What should we do? We got two options. While I think out the options, I'm gonna go eat more of my salad. Hold on, is there blue cheese with this? I don't like blue cheese. We can try and wait and see. Let's see what happens if we fuck around and find out. I should just keep quiet now and see what happens.
Well, it appears the defense has no objection at this juncture, which in case...
Oh! I lied.
Objection.
I'm not done yet!
No, my learned friend. It's over. That last cross-examination was your final chance to establish a credible defense. And you failed. The die has been cast. There's no room for debate.
Well, it might be over as far as you're concerned, but... I can't think of what to say!
If I may, Lord Van Zykes, it seems somewhat boorish to close down the debate at this point.
Your insignificant little Eastern Isle must be a lawless hole indeed. For a lowly judicial assistant to have the audacity to intervene at a moment like this.
Oh.
I am, to my shame, still a very inexperienced lawyer. So you will have to forgive me, but I consider my assistant's advice essential, and her opinions invaluable.
Mr. Naruhodo.
One of this land's great guiding principles is tolerance. So the court will hear you, madam.
Go ahead, Miss Susato. Please.
Very well. Pray, what insight can you give us? What have we all overlooked in this matter that you see fit to pursue further?
Well, the court has been presented with new evidence, but only after that last cross-examination finished.
I see. And you believe that this new evidence warrants further examination, do you?
Mr. Naruhodo, what do you think? It's just possible that this new evidence might be the decisive proof we've been waiting for. The judge is sure to have asked the members of the jury to announce their leanings in a moment. And of course, he's sure to ask you to explain what the crucial piece of evidence is and why. So we must take this opportunity to examine the newly presented evidence as thoroughly as possible.
Yes, I understand. And thank you, Miss Susato. This is it. Susato-san has managed to win us one last chance here. I can't let it go to waste! The defense wishes to present evidence, my lord.
Very well. The defense may present one further piece of evidence. Evidence that apparently offers a profound insight into this case, and hitherto has been overlooked.
Take that!
Take that! The evidence in question is what we can see from the newly presented photographic print of the crime scene. The fourth book, found in the victim's hand.
Objection! We have already discussed the fourth book at length. Other than it being the victim's grasp at the time of the incident, no significance has been attached to it. Pursuing the matter further would be a flagrant waste of the court's time, as you well know.
Ah!
Yes, I'm afraid, counsel. I must concur with the What? When I afforded you this opportunity, you led the court to believe that the evidence in question contained a hitherto...
What? Are you... What?
So I insist that you must elaborate, counsel. You will identify this clue at once. Do I make myself clear?
Oh, yes, my lord. It's, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe the prosecution is trying to avoid a thorough examination of the evidence, which means you may very well be on the right. I was fucking right! Yes, I think you might be right.
So, counsel, precisely where is the vital clue to this case which the fourth book conceals?
Take that! Oh, got it! I would ask the court to observe the back of the book in question.
The back? What do you... Goodness gracious! It's been burnt to the crisp!
So we have to ask ourselves, why was the victim clutching what is clearly an unreadable book? It is undeniably an extremely unnatural thing for her to have been doing.
Objection! Unnatural, you say? And what of it, my Nipponese friend?
Oh!
Were I to concede the point, if it bears no relation to the case, there's nothing to discuss. So, should you wish to assert that this fire damage is some veiled clue as to what happened that day? Pray, do enlighten us all. What truth does this charred book hide?
A charred book. There's just one possibility here, which I can't bring myself to rule out. It's an outside chance, certainly, but worth a try. All right, I'll explain my theory.
Don't keep us waiting any longer then, counsel. Explain this theory of yours. What are you suggesting that you can ascertain from the fire damage the sorry Thomas suffered?
What can I ascertain? Wait, what? The shop that sold it, the owner, its content. Its owner? My lord, the burn on the back of this book reveals a startling truth about the book's owner.
I beg your pardon?
But we already know who the book belongs to. The victim was gripping it in her hand as she fell to the floor. It's obviously hers.
The question of how this book came to be in the victim's hand has yet to be answered. However, as to the questions of who the book really belongs to and where it originated, the defense has very credible answers.
Good gracious! How can you possibly? Very well. I'll play along with this futile attempt to delay your inevitable demise. But do remember, the members of the jury may well burn you if your little gamble goes awry. Counsel, the defense's response here is very likely to influence the final outcome of the trial. So, tell the court, who do you claim is the owner of this burnt book?
Oh, huh? What? It's the victim, right? I don't get it. I can't read context clues.
Take that! What on earth would make you say such a thing?
It's something of a gut feeling, my lord, but I can think of no one else more likely to set a book on fire!
What kind of morbid reasoning is that?
What? Ah! Oh, no, 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 no! Natsume then? It's Natsume's book? Oh, I'm stupid. I'm stupid.
Take that!
What on earth would make you...
Wait, what? What? It's not him? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Take that!
No! I don't know who! Oh my god! Oh no! I don't know what I'm doing! I have to head out, but thank you so much for the stream. Have fun. Thank you for hanging out. Garadeb, because his house had the flame!
Take that!
The answer is that the book belongs to the couple who own the house where the defendant has his lodgings. A certain Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb.
The landlords!
And whether this is some extraordinary coincidence or some kind of fate at work, I don't know. But of all the people in London, one of the 6 chosen for jury duty in this courtroom today is none other than Mrs. Garadeb herself! Oh, I didn't know if we were supposed to acknowledge that or not. Oh my goodness, me? I think you must be mistaken, sir. I'm not Mr. Garadeb's wife. I'm his maid. Things would be so much easier if you would just drop the pretense. All right then. How about a simple question for you? Have you ever seen this book in Mr. Garadeb's house? I would never presume to know all of the books he keeps, sir.
Objection! This is outlandish behavior. This woman is the accused's landlady, you say? You implicate this hard-working member of the public. You besmirch her without a shred of evidence. Your actions are unforgivable.
Objection!
This is not mere conjecture. The defense happens to know that on the day in question, at almost exactly the same time as the victim was stabbed on the pavement below, another incident was taking place in the room of the top floor of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house.
Good Lord! What sort of incident, counsel?
A fire, my lord.
Afraid to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bully thing. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bully furniture started going up as well. Worst of it is I lost my favorite, but called the Lion's Pride.
Oh, I completely forgot that detail because it's been a week since I played this.
The Lion's Pride. By Jove! The very same title that's the subject of this debate!
Oh, dear me!
Objection! This is risible. All you've told the court is that a book by the same name was involved in a fire. in which case it would be reasonable to assume that it was burnt to ashes. And entirely unreasonable to infer that it magically removed itself to the scene of the crime.
Perhaps it would make more sense if I told you that the cause of the fire was marital discord. Without going into details, it appears that Mrs. Garrideb was considerably enraged. Apparently, she continued to attack Mr. Garrideb even amid the flames.
Oh, how awful! I can't even imagine being so horrid to the one you love. Can you, Rolly?
Absolutely not, sir. My Patricia would never raise a finger against me, sir.
Had all my favorite novels in that case. But as soon as the fire got a hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke. Then the wife started hurling things at me. There was I, back up against the window under heavy enemy fire. Incendiary books incoming 10 to the dozen. And the man had his back up against through the window. Had burning books thrown at him. Goodness gracious! Are you suggesting?
I'm glad you're playing this again. Such a fun case. Ah, welcome in, Kieran. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're doing well. Are you feeling better? I saw that you've been sick, but I think you were streaming yesterday. So, are you taking care of yourself?
That the book was thrown through a window and landed coincidentally at the scene of the crime?
I'm glad to hear that. All right, I'm still sending you healing energy just in case. Let me give you what's a good sound effect I can give you? This is your boo-boos. This is me at your boo-boos.
Objection! No. A thorough investigation of the surrounding area was conducted the very evening of the incident. And there is no report of the Garrideb's window pane being broken.
That's quite true. We also saw no sign of the broken glass when we visited the Garrideb household. But is it not conceivable that the window was open at the time in...
Not even remotely. Let us not forget the season and the chilling weather that accompanies it. No Londoner would ever leave a window open in the middle of winter.
Ah!
Does the defense postulate this scenario in all seriousness, counsel? Do you earnestly claim that the book found at the scene was a flaming projectile thrown by Mr. Garrideb's wife?
I believe it's a possibility, my lord.
That's quite enough! Well, I hope everyone can see you for what you are now, you little foreign trickster! You call yourself a lawyer, but you're just a coward! A mean coward!
Really?
Claiming that our little tiff set the whole neighborhood alight! Honestly. Implying that I'm merely posing as a maid for appearance's sake. Oh, how could you? It's nothing to do with this beastly case. None of it! All you've done is sully our family's name!
No! I assure you, that was never my intention!
Dragging an upstanding citizen's name through the mud simply to divert attention from your failing defense. I should box your ears, that's what I should do. It's utterly unforgivable.
Too right.
Here we go.
How long have we sat here now listening to this Nipponese spouting out his fancy foreign theories? But think about it. At the end of the day, the only person who could possibly have stabbed the victim is that little hunchback with the mustache. And he ran away from the scene, too.
I do declare you're right.
I don't remember the voices I gave anyone here. It's true.
Yes. What did I tell you?
Makes sense to me.
Huh? Sorry. What's that?
Well, it would appear that the ladies and gentlemen of the jury are once again in full agreement. What is your position, Lord Van Sykes? In truth, my lord, I feel these have been unnecessarily protracted proceedings. But then one must always exercise patience in order to savor the best vintage.
No! Wait! The mystery of the fourth book still hasn't been...
If books are your predilection, my learned friend, study them on your own time.
What? No forgive the discourtesy this time?
In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now state your individual decisions regarding the defendant's culpability for the court to hear. Guilty!
Oh!
Guilty.
Oh no.
Guilty.
Oh no!
Guilty.
Oh no!
Guilty.
Oh no!
Guilty. Thank you for that unambiguous response.
Oh, that's twice now. It's over.
Mr. Naruto, don't give up. Miss Susato? Have you forgotten? The battle isn't over yet. You're not suggesting. Of course. The defense has another right to another summation examination at this point. You could still convince the jurors to change their minds. You have one more chance.
My lord! The defense asks to exercise its right to a summation examination!
You believe you still have tricks up your sleeve?
I don't intend to trick anybody. I intend to uncover the truth! This is no time to be downcast. As long as there's a chance, I have to stay strong and determined! All right! Bum 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 bum. I was thinking about going until the end of the part, but I kind of want to go a little bit more now. Now that it's getting all heated, I have a burst of energy, you know?
I have considered the defense's counsel request for a further summation examination of the jury. And I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination.
Am I gonna do 5 summation examinations in this last trial?
I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman. We are, my lord. Very good. In that case, I must ask you, each of you now, to state clearly and concisely for the court, the grounds on which you find the defendant guilty of this crime.
Oh boy, here we go. The jurors' contentions.
The accused left behind evidence at the scene, did he? Those 3 books of his.
If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider.
Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window was closed, can it?
Dearie me, it was only a little book, hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit.
Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'd be in a tidy bit of trouble.
Come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes.
Yes. Considerably more tangible arguments from all members of the jury this time around, it seems. With one notable exception, of course. My learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony. So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover, no one else was even at the scene to commit the crime. Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it can be argued any other way.
That means, I'm afraid, that during the summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the facts.
But how? What would even constitute a tangible explanation here?
Isn't it obvious? Who stabbed the woman and how? Those 2 details are all you need to provide. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted.
And there I was thinking this might be hard.
But, Mr. Nuttleholdall, you have to do it. Otherwise, this really will be where the trial ends.
Ugh, no pressure then.
That's quite enough preamble. Proceed with the summation examination, please. I presume you are prepared, counsel?
Oh, yes! My lord!
All right, Inosuke. Focus your mind now. Clearly, the key to this summation examination is going to be juror number 4, the maid. Or should I say, Mrs. Garrideb. We have a book that disappeared from the Garrideb's house on the evening of the incident. And the 4th book found in the victim's hand.
There must be a way to link the 2. Yes, that's what we have to find.
Using every technique I've learned in my short career so far. Whatever it takes! Don't forget to keep an eye on Mrs. Garrideb and how she reacts, even to the things other people say. He's so cute, I love him.
The defense's rebuttal.
Hold it!
But as we now know, there were 4 books, not 3.
Well, what difference does it make?
There's every possibility that the 4th book, in fact, belongs to the defendant's landlord.
Yes, well, that's the part I have a problem with.
Sorry?
Well, at the point the woman was stabbed, this landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? Enjoying a fiery scrap with his wife or something, you said.
That's not exactly how I put it, no.
Well, anyway, the point is the fellow and his wife were somewhere else when it happened.
I think that's what you call a strong alibi.
So it couldn't have been the landlord who did it, which only leaves the Nipponese fellow. Honestly, I can't see what all this palaver's about. It's a done deal, isn't it?
I suppose it is, since I have nothing witty left to say.
Hold it!
So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean?
Oh my, such delight on your face. But I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you may think of me, I am a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman.
That's great.
If no one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So, why read them in the first place? You see, modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking, wouldn't you say?
And not at all extreme.
As I see it, an overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by overwhelmingly strong testimony. So despite one or two minor puzzlements, I do declare that the man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, and rational logic, wouldn't you say?
Overwhelmingly.
But us modern gals are always delighted to embrace new fads, you know. So I'd only be happy to consider an exciting new theory if you came up with one.
I'd be happy to do that too, if only I could.
Let's do our very best not to disappoint the modern and metropolitan young lady.
Right. I'm glad you admitted rational.
Hold it!
What about the possibility that the window was open? What about it? I mean, there's just no way it couldn't have been. How can you be so sure? The prosecutor fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? Winters in London are no joke. You don't want to invite that sort of cold indoors. So no, that window wasn't open. Us Londoners like sitting by the fire and staying warm, see? But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you? It just wasn't. They wouldn't have opened it. Then what's the point in even having windows, huh?
Counsel, will kindly refrain from childish bickering.
Sorry. Somehow I need to show that there's an undeniable possibility that the window is open. Because this young man isn't going to budge otherwise. Okay, hold on. I gotta pee. I'll BRB. It's time for my potty break. Oh no! There we go. All right. Let's continue this.
Hold it!
But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not?
With flames of love, I'll have you know.
I'm here and I'm queer. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good. There's really no such thing as a loving incendiary bomb.
Well, he brought it up upon himself. It's playing with fire to betray a fiery love. Isn't it? Well, don't you agree?
Yeah. Oh. Well, any kind of betrayal is certainly a bad thing, yes? But I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Mrs. Garadeb.
Never mind you that. The point is, we were just having a jovial little dispute, nothing more. And I won't have any more of those suggestions that it wasn't anything whatsoever to do with the crime.
Hello, Kieran. I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm gonna see how long I can go. I think I'm gonna try at least going until, maybe like another by the hour or until we hit like if we can reach the end of the part, you know. Thank you for the care package, Henrik. Yeah, I think I need to give myself a little stretchy. So let's go ahead and stand up off our seats. We're gonna go ahead and treat ourselves to a nice little twist to the left. Yeah. Twist to the right. Stretch your arms straight up to the sky. Roll out that right shoulder. Roll out that left shoulder. Roll out our neck gently. Take a deep breath in. Ooh, and a deep breath out. Oh my God. That really helped. Thank you. Don't forget to drink water. And I've been working full-time this week since I'm gonna be off for a week, and I wanna make sure like the stuff that I have to do is finished. And going back to full-time temporarily like really tired me out. Right, well, we'll see about that. But what about juror number 5? He doesn't seem to be turning a hair at Mrs. Garadeb's relentless onslaughts.
It's almost as though he's used to it. What a gentle soul he is.
Hold it!
Yeah, she's pretty sussy. You just want to get this over with? How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future is at stake here.
Well, him and me both then, like I said before.
What?
I told you already. I'm a day laborer, aren't I? If I don't bring home some readies with me tonight, you'll find me floating face down in the Thames tomorrow morning.
What?
You heard me. My missus isn't one to mess about, you know. She can be fierce, believe you me.
Another shining example of marital bliss, then.
Situation like this cropped up the other day. It was, well, Do you know, it's funny, but I can't quite remember.
Sorry?
It was too frightening, that's the thing. Must have blocked it out.
Helpful.
I wonder if Mr. Beat will ever be dragged into the Thames by his scarf.
Don't even go there, Miss Susato. There must be some way to jog his memory about this.
Hold it!
Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case?
Sorry? What was that? You'll have to speak up, lad.
Could you tell us more about that fire?
It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. It had 75 candles on the top, it did. What a sight to behold it was.
Oh, you can put candles on a cake? What? Was it some kind of devil worship?
Of course not. It was an angel cake to celebrate my birthday, obviously.
It seems that a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruhodo.
Anyway, I mustered up all my puff to blow them out. Only I must have blown wrong somehow. The flames didn't go out, but the candles went flying all over the room. The furniture caught, and everything went up. The whole place filled with smoke.
Definitely sounds like devil worship to me. And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold. But how did you catch a cold from a fire?
Oh, what a fiasco it was. The grandchildren, bless them, threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. And then, because the whole room had filled up with smoke, of course, we had to open all the windows to clear it.
The windows.
The biting winter air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave, it did. I caught a terrible cold from it. It put me in the hospital for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry.
I knew it was devil worship all along. But something about this old man's story is playing on my mind for some reason. Okay, so I think we'll link the old man and the maid. We need to demonstrate who, apart from Mr. Natsume, could have attacked the young woman on the street. As well as how he, or she, or they could have done it. Yes, but once again, the jurors' statements are full of personal prejudice. A lot of them seem convinced they're right, even in the face of logical arguments to the contrary. I think you're going to need to pit them against each other to force them to accept an alternative explanation. Yes. I don't necessarily need to find contradictions between their assertions. Just a connection might do the trick. They're all sus. All the jurors are pretty sussy. All right, I'll see what I can do. If anything stands out, I'll go in for a strike. That's the spirit. Oh my god, okay. I think it's these two, right? So let's go ahead and pit her.
Objection!
Let's try this. Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Hold it!
I'm sorry, but as foreman of the... Oh.
Maybe I'll actually read this time. Maybe these two? Oh, maybe window was closed, so maybe these two?
Objection!
There we go! Oh my god! Those two juror statements clearly contradict one another.
They do? How exactly, counsel?
And don't point at me again. I told you it wasn't me.
Mm-hmm. What was that you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up!
Ace Attorney? I hardly know her. I'd enough about Ace Attorney to make a better joke. Kieran 97 peepo.
Michael Baum, thank you so much for 11 months in the Superstar Sub Club. I really appreciate it. Welcome in. Are you still working? You still working, or are you here to hang out for a little bit? I'm always happy to have you. Thank you so much for stopping by. Juror number 3. Do you see? Oh, me? See what, sir? Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? I think you should really check out Ace Attorney. Ace Attorney, like, the characters and the humor is just so, like, it's so outlandish that I think you might find it funny, and I think you'd have a lot of fun doing the character voices. Hello, on my dinner break. Here to hang out while I cook turkey burgers. Yeah! Thanks for choosing my stream to hang out on. It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter. Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you'd be mad not to open the... Oh! Exactly. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Garridib household. I always thought about checking Ace Attorney, not sure if they've gotten the tangent. It does require a lot of energy and attention span. For me personally, whenever I play these games, I need a lot of energy because you're doing a lot of different voices and, you know, it's all reading, so, you know. But it's so good. It's whether or not you stream it though, just play it for yourself. It's a lot of fun. And Mr. Garridib had the following to say about it. The whole place filled with smoke.
Oh my. Excuse me.
Excuse me, juror number 4. Do you have something to say about that? She's sipping that tea. Oh my. Mrs. Garridib! Oh, dearie me. What is the meaning of this? How dare you simply imply that I'm hiding who I really am? It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now. What is this? When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window? I beg your pardon? What are you insinuating? The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window. And what if we did? Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right. My husband was frantically trying to open the window, which can't have been easy since I continued to give him the justly deserved book battering. Even though your house was on fire? Oh, you never stop throwing until the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise. Of course. I should have realized. That's a significant step forward, Mr. Nodoldo. You've managed to establish that the window was open. We simply must have that added to Mrs. Garridib's formal statement. Now that you mention it, the window was open at the time. I'd clean forgotten, but it's true. Wait, okay, so then I made that happen. So then I pit those two together? Is that what's going on? God, these games really make you think. I'm not built for thinking. If it's thinking about boys.
Objection.
Is it these two? No. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we'll pit her. Maybe let's not pit her yet. Hold on. These two? Do these two we pit?
Objection.
No. Oh my god! Maybe we pit the wife?
Objection.
No! Oh my god! Good thing the loading isn't that long though. Yeah, the game loads pretty fast.
Objection.
I'm just gonna keep trying. I'm just gonna keep trying. We'll do, what is it called? We'll brute force it. We're doing the old college try.
Objection.
Hold it! Hold it!
It's fine. I got this.
Objection.
Okay, so it's not the wife. Oh my god. We have to do so many combinations. These two?
Objection.
Oh no! What could it be? My brain isn't turned on.
Objection.
Is there, can I like provide evidence? Can I, please do not offer the answer in the chat. I kindly ask that you don't do that. I'll try these two.
Objection.
Okay, yeah, it's not that. So please, 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 please. Well, we did these two already. We did these two already. Tiny bit of trouble. Let me press him again.
Hold it.
Day laborer, you'll find me. Oh. The situation cropped up the other day. Okay, so we have to jog his memory. Thank you, thank you. So the window was open when the Garridibs were arguing that day.
Yes, Mrs. Garridib has finally admitted to it, which is a very significant victory for the defense.
I feel like the fog is starting to clear, and an alternative explanation to this case is starting to show itself. So maybe let's pit him with other people. Let's try this, let's try this, let's try this.
Objection.
So it's not the old man anymore. Hold on. Ay, 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 ay. My brain's not working. I've still got nervous anxiety energy. I'm making these burgers. I cannot think of the new There's a new Burger King jingle.
Objection.
Do you need a hug? Yeah, from Yunosuke.
Objection.
All right, we'll brute force it. We'll brute force it. It was me? You did this? You caused this murder?
Objection.
Hold it.
Okay, so it wasn't. It's not the fourth guy. I feel like I've exhausted all my options. What could it be? I just arrived. What's going on? We're doing another summation examination.
Objection.
So basically, we have to take these, whatever these guys are saying, the people on the jury, we're trying to pit them against each other to find contradictions. But my brain is not working right now, so I'm kind of just brute force guessing.
Objection.
Yeah. What am I? Can I present evidence? Hold on. Can I present evidence? Court record. No, so I can't present.
Hold it.
But as we know now, there are 4 books, not 3. Well, what difference does it make? Every possibility of the 4th book belongs to the defendant's landlord. Yes, that's the problem I have with. Sorry? Well, at the point the woman was stabbed, the landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? Showing fiery scrap with his wife or something, you said. That's not exactly how I put it, no. Well, anyway, point is, the fellow and his wife were somewhere else when it happened. Couldn't have been the landlord who did it, which only leaves the Nipponese fellow. Honestly, I can't see what all this palaver is about. It's a done deal, isn't it? So he's a lost cause. I think that guy's a lost cause.
Hold it.
Modern Metropolitan. Oh my god. Modern Metropolitan rational logic, wouldn't you say? Overwhelmingly. Modern gals are always delighted to embrace new fads. Exciting new theory. Oh, we didn't press the new one. My bad. The 4th book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garrideb told us he'd been reading. Oh. Well, I really couldn't say. On the day in question, did you or did you not throw your husband the copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading? Ooh. I did. It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. And now come you mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, you're right. Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset? Because I couldn't, you insolent little man! I didn't remember! At times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on as well, you know! I really don't. I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less— oh my god!
Excuse me.
Ah! What is it? Juror number 5!
You know something? I've remembered what it was. That memory I blocked out.
Ah.
It was listening to what this granny was saying. Brought it all flooding back.
Who are you calling a granny, you cheeky devil? I'm Mrs. Garrideb, or the maid, I'll have you know. The man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time.
It was about 2 weeks ago now. I'd just gotten back home after the work, like. I put my hand in my pocket for the wages I'd just earned that day. I nearly died. And there was a hole. Every last penny had dropped out.
Oh dear, what a disaster.
You haven't heard the half of it, boy.
Oh?
The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight. I've lost the day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past my ear. Stuck into the wall next to me, it did. About an inch deep.
No words. Just terror.
I could smell it then, you know. That god-awful stench of the Thames. I was sure I was going to end up face down in the muddy banks that night, I can tell you. Now, that's a real disaster, isn't it?
I'll never use the word lightly again.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. When women lose their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, hammers, you name it!
Mr. Nutholdo, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined.
No, I wasn't thinking that.
Throwing household objects at people is, well, it's so uncivilized. At least attack with honor, using a bow or the like.
What? Attack? Where are you going to attack?
Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think.
All right, we'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare.
Hold it!
Your wife really threw a kitchen knife at you?
That's right. She was chopping schmeat with it. Had a tidy edge on it, believe me. Still, it's all memories, isn't it? It started with that smile she threw me when we were courting.
She really said not all of it. Stop!
Since then, the list of things she's thrown at me has grown along with our relationship. There was a cup, a glass, then a pot, a kettle, a chair, a wardrobe, a cooker, a bathtub.
Your wife must be even beefier than you! Ooh!
And things came to a head last week when she threw me right into the Thames. Still, she's not so bad when she's calmed down. She's a little sweetheart, really.
I'm so happy for you.
You want to know what I think? I think this whole idea of ladies first that we're so obsessed with in this country was thought up by some clever lads who've been tossed into the Thames a few too many times from their wives.
Yeah, that's a very interesting theory.
What a terrible thought.
On the face of it, this juror's statement just sounds like a really extreme anecdote. But I think it might turn out to be an extremely powerful weapon. A weapon I might be able to use to make the jurors accept an alternative explanation here. Oh no, he's the first man! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Stop, don't make me this game.
Hold it!
Oh shit! Not the Meninism. I have to write a reminder to myself. Not the whole game, just one guy. I have to write a reminder to myself to go ahead and go to the Capcom store to try and find Ace Attorney stuff.
Objection!
There we go! These two statements clearly have a deeply significant connection.
Good grief! You mean they don't contradict each other? Explain, counsel, at once.
Juror number 2. Do you think perhaps that this could be one such novel alternative?
Oh my, whatever do you mean?
An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back.
What are you talking about?
We've demonstrated that the 4th book, The Lion's Pride, that was found at the scene of the crime, originated in Mr. Garrideb's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from the Garrideb household to the street below.
Huh? What's that now?
After all, Mrs. Garrideb could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4?
What are you insinuating now, you little beanpole?
I'm begging to think that, ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps she's had a feeling this might be what have happened.
Now you listen here, you Eastern Gala. As the foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. You give us the yarn about some other object making its way out of the house, but what? What is it?
Hello, Zero! Hello, hello! I'm really taking a big gamble here. That was a bold accusation to make, but I haven't any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least this warrants further investigation. I think might get the cold and probably will not go to classes. Please make sure you're bundled up. You're staying warm before you go to bed. Please make sure that you are safe and warm. It is very important that you take care of your health. I don't know, like, honestly, I don't necessarily condone this as like, you should do this, but if I was in your position, I probably, like, if I'm starting to feel sick, if I'm not fully sick, but I'm starting to feel sick, I would probably take the day off for classes just to take care of myself and make sure that I don't get even more sick, because it's better to take the day off and recover and prevent and, like, you know, don't push your body than it is to, like, take the risk and go to school and then, like, you know, interact with people, push your body to its limits, get sick, and then potentially get other people sick. But anyways. All right, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. That's just me speaking from my own experience. I'm not telling you to do that, and I don't advise you to skip school. But I'm just saying that if you are starting to feel sick, think about your body and take care of yourself first. The other object that found its way from the Garrideb household to the scene of the crime? It's the book, right? It's the book.
Take that!
Take that! Probably this.
Did you hear that, everyone? Did you hear that belligerent outburst?
Especially in today's age where you could possibly be carrying something that that is exactly true. That is 1,000,000% true. You know, sometimes you may be feeling quote unquote fine, and then suddenly you might have COVID. You really never know. So just play it safe. I honestly, I'm not saying, like, I'm saying to take precautions. Take precautions and take care of yourself. Because, it's better to take the hit and prevent something from happening than to let it happen and then you're out of commission even longer. But that's just my 2 cents. I don't know your full story of what's going on. So just just do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself.
Oh my, how so horrifying.
What?
I think it's very clear now. You're the one grasping at the first thing that comes to hand here.
Oh, what?
Anyways.
Oh my goodness gracious! Luffy! Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome in, gamers! Hello, hello, hello! Oh my god! What? A double raid? Oh my goodness gracious! Picoyin! Hold on. Luffy and Picoyin, thank you guys so much for the double raids. I really appreciate it. And Lexi Fushiguro, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Hiya, hey guys. Hiya, hey guys. Oh my god. Oh, hey, we hit our follower goal. Yay. It is so nice to meet you all here. If anyone is new here, it is so nice to meet you guys. My name is Kieran. I am a magical boy idol VTuber. I am also a queer Filipino American voice actor for animation, anime, and video games. If you guys like Fire Emblem, I provide the English voices for Sane and Rickard in Fire Emblem Heroes. If you guys like Genshin Impact, I play Kazuha's great-grandfather, Kaedehara Yoshinori. And if you guys like Yaoi or Boys Love, I provide the English voice for Koichi Mizuki in the dub of the Titan's Bride. It is so nice to meet you all. Thank you guys so much for both choosing to share your communities with me, and Luffy for being for finding me. I don't know how you found me, but thank you so much for finding me. We are currently playing the Great Ace Attorney. We are in the middle of a very strenuous part of the trial. Oh, okay, you guys are friends. Okay. Oh, thank you for planning that. You guys are super sweet. I'm really grateful. You guys are incredibly kind. But yeah, so we are in the middle of case number 4. So if you guys don't want to like stick around for spoilers or anything like that, I completely understand. But I'm having a great time here, guys. This is one of my last streams I'm going to be doing for the week before I go on my vacation trip. So yes, if you guys want to stick around, today's check-in question is... what are some things that you do to cool off when you're feeling nervous or anxious? Because I'm having a little bit of the jitters since I'm leaving soon. But yeah, you guys are really awesome. Thank you guys so much for the raids. Let me go ahead and catch up on who followed us. Lexi Fushiguro, thank you so much. Midnight Froggy Frog, thank you. Luffy, thank you so much for following and joining the constellations. Giorno, thank you. Starlight Sid, thank you so much. Muse of Mystery, thank you very kindly. And Star Raider, thank you guys all so much for shining brightly in the sky and becoming constellations. And helping me reach my goal of 1,700. I really appreciate it. Let me go ahead and set a new goal then. Let's set our next goal. The sky's the limit, baby. Let's go ahead and aim for 1,800. But thank you guys so incredibly kindly. I hope you guys had lovely streams. I'm assuming you guys are doing a co-op game together. You guys are doing a collab. So feel free to let me know what you guys were playing, what games you guys were all up to. Let's go ahead and go to a safe screen where you guys can't see any spoilers or anything. You did an 8-hour stream. Holy shit. Okay, let's give a shout out to Picoyin first. Let's see a little clippy.
Japanese for a little bit. それお茶ですか?
それお茶ですか?
This is tea. Or is this tea?
That's a tongue twister. それお茶ですか? それ means like that because it's closer to the person that you're talking to.
Oh yeah.
So you would say kore when it's closer to you.
Kore,
like,
sore.
you know, the object is closer to you. And
where's my drink? Oh, but you guys look so cute. Let me go ahead and give another shout out as well to Luffy XD. That was today. Let's go, Clipper. You guys have clippers on it.
I think our KO can warm you up, Yoru.
Oh yeah, warm me up, all right.
Ooh, okay, handsome voice. Let's go, Ikebo.
Or I think our Ace could do a better job at that.
I don't know. I think you probably have the better thighs for that.
Oh, is this a curse clip?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is a curse clip.
Call of the night, yes, that's it. That's it.
What?
I only started like episode 1. Please do die.
Okay, who said that? There, hell no. That's
my
funny. I'm pretty risky. Oh no. You see what you did, dude?
We scared them.
Oh.
Incredibly cursed. But thank you guys so much for the raids. I really appreciate it. If you guys need to head out because you guys had a long stream, I completely understand. But if you guys want to stick around for a little bit longer, we'll keep going for a little bit longer. But anyways, thank you guys incredibly kindly. I am so grateful. Let's go ahead and go back to the game. We do? But have a good one. No problem. I really, yeah, you guys had an 8 hours. Hold on. Before you go. You had an 8-hour stream, so I'm gonna go ahead and, we're gonna do a group stretch because my care package reward might be on cooldown, but you guys need to give yourselves a good stretch. So please, I ask you guys to get out of your seats. Everyone stand up. We're gonna go ahead and twist our bodies to the left. We're gonna twist our bodies to the right. We're gonna go ahead and roll out that right shoulder. Let's go ahead and roll out that left shoulder. Very slowly, very gently roll out your neck. Stretch your arms straight up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Roll to the left. Roll to the right. Crisscross. Everybody clap your hands. But anyways. All right, go get some good sleep, guys. Thank you for the raids. I truly appreciate it. I'll hopefully see you guys soon. You guys deserve that rest. So go do that rest. Do not forget before you go, drink some water. And if you guys need to take medications, don't forget to take those because a lot of sickness is going around right now. So make sure that you guys are staying safe, staying warm in these cold times. And I hope to see you guys again soon. All right, take care, guys. We're going to go back to the game in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please call me Froggy or Frog. And I go by she, her. I'm a frog who is working to become a VTuber. I say ribbit a lot. Ribbit. And nice to meet you, Froggy. Frog. Welcome in. I hope you are doing great. Have a good stream. Thank you guys. Take care. For the other object that found its way from the Garajib household. The knife? Cause she threw the knife! Oh! Take that! Juror number 4. Mrs. Garajib. What? What now? I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something. I have to head off, but have a good stream. No problem. Thank you so much for following, Journal. I hope you have a lovely evening. This knife. Have you ever seen this knife before? Good Lord, Counsel! What on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was lodged in the victim's back, man! My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garajib were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garajib was hurling anything she could at her husband, who'd been backed up against the window. A window that had been opened to clear the smoke, and through which a book sailed to land at the crime scene. You can't seriously believe that. The book was found in the victim's grasp. Are you saying that it flew out of the window and across the street to land neatly in her hand? Huh. Even my missus hasn't got a name like that. Yes, I admit, there are many details we don't yet understand. But that's the point! That's precisely why. We must not allow this trial to end! Not right now!
Oh my!
Mrs. Gerardib, your answer, please! Have you seen this knife before or not?
Oh, ah!
My lord!
My lord, I wish to change my decision.
Squadala? What?
I am a woman of my word, after all.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end now, with so many unanswered questions.
Squadala? What does squadala mean? Mr. Foreman!
I'd have to agree. Not that I think the granny didn't mind.
Yes, well, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at this moment either.
All together now, ladies and gents!
We did it. Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo.
Was that big man resting his arm on the fire? I don't know. It's from the Zelda CDI games like hello? Oh, well, hello to you. Squadala to you.
So, as a result of the defense's summation examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty, against 4 now calling innocent. Accordingly, the opinion of this court is divided. And this trial will continue. Now then, Lord Van Zykes, how does the prosecution wish to proceed? This trial is rapidly descending into a farce. Like a corked wine, the first few steps, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is so repugnant, it's good for nothing save the gutter. If I may, Lord Van Zykes.
I'm not winning, so this trial is bullshit. It's true. Bro, that was the good wine. That was top shelf.
The defense has just put forward a credible and alternative explanation for what happened. Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond, but let me start by insisting that you must all familiarize yourselves better with the relative positions of those places being discussed.
What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time?
It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Gerardib household,
Van Zykes, and by extension Edgeworth, is on my shit list for wasting good wine. Not Edgeworth! Edgeworth is like, you know, I like Edgeworth because as irritating he can be on the opposing side, he's really trying his best to, like, you know, he believes that he's right as the prosecution. And with Van Zykes, it's kind of just like, I don't know, he's just trying to act like he's the shit. So far, from my perspective of him.
runs a rather wide street, Briar Road.
Edgeworth is also handsome, and Edgeworth also isn't racist. I think this whole Van Zyke's being racist really like helps me form my opinion on him.
Which means that the distance from the Gerdib's house to the scene is some, yes, 15 yards.
Let me see. 15 yards? That's around 14 meters.
14 meters? Oh, that's a little farther than I imagined. And Van Zyke's is what? What?
And as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightfully noted as having portentous significance, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book.
Oh, yeah. Everyone in Britain kind of is. Well, at least in the context of this game, where they're like, oh, you're just a Japanese person, you're so uncultured, or you're Japanese, you're lesser than us British people. So yeah.
In other words, the smoldering book wantonly hurled by the lady of the house traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? And did the jackknife follow a near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back?
Oh, no. They don't, there's no anti-Semitic language in the game. I don't really know the reference that Rune Wolf is trying to insinuate, but it's not anti-Semitic. Flush this man! I love that you kept that phrase! God, I should add a toilet flush sound effect. Flush this man.
This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots.
There's nothing I can say to that.
That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's no anti-Semitic language here. Miss Susato.
Serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he?
Maybe let's pick our battles here.
My lord, might I be allowed to speak?
As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense, yes? Go ahead.
The prosecution may consider the idea a fantasy. But what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end, juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garadib, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination.
Saints alive!
Turkey burgers were so good, I gotta go back to No, I'm gonna be so sad that you're gone. But thanks so much for hanging out, Michael. Take care. Enjoy the rest, or I mean, as possible, if it's possible, enjoy the rest of your shift and have a good one.
A cross-examination of a juror?
Bye, Michio.
Order! 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 Well, this is highly irregular. It is unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
Objection! And unnecessary. Lord Van Zykes! There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine.
Hello to you, Nicole Vipo. Welcome in.
If my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have flown through the sky before this couple's eyes. And we must assume they would be able to testify accordingly. What say you, witnesses?
Yes, sir. Constable Rolly Beach reporting for duty, sir.
Well, good morning, officer.
Sorry for dozing off until now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir.
Oh, they are so heroic, these London bobbies.
Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more.
Oh, Rolly, you make me swoon.
Very well. I hereby reject the defense's request.
Oh.
And order the witness to stand to testify again. State forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events.
Yes, sir! This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word. You see, sir, the windows on the top floor of the Garadeb house are top-hinged casements.
Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go fetch for help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed.
I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir. He's probably asleep.
Well, this is quite interesting. Top-hinged casement windows. That detail was not in the police report, Constable.
Yes. Sorry about that. I, must have been a little drowsy.
You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness every time, Constable.
No, sir!
Sorry, but... What exactly is a top-hinged casement window?
And you... You cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend.
I love seeing him break the wine glass in different ways. Every time he breaks one, another just magically appears. Of course.
I found it, Mr. Naruhodo. Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's room.
All right. I'll try.
So the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house. But as it's a top-hinged casement window, it swings open along the upper edge, you see.
I like to imagine that there's just cases of glasses and wine underneath his cord thingy.
I'm glad you rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount. It is also the first syllable in
Stacy Gars, it's going down.
It prevents it opening? This is all news to me.
Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, if a book or a knife were to have been thrown through the open window, it would have clattered against the pane and fallen straight down to the pavement below.
No.
You see the problem then? Good. Your education in Windows is complete. There was never any possibility of either the book or knife traveling 15 yards over the road. That is, unless the window pane has been shattered, something we've discounted already.
That can't be!
Did you see that, Rolly? That young Japanese man just collapsed in agony.
Oh, yes, my darling. I saw it. I saw how he crumbled before me.
Oh, Rolly, you're so strong.
How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet, and my argument's already been destroyed.
Counsel, if you could drag yourself upright again. The court awaits your cross-examination.
My lord.
Oh, good.
Another desperate situation.
Hold it!
How can you say that for certain?
A very good question, sir. And the answer is this. It has the absolute noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty.
He showed us that before, didn't he?
Did he? I can't say I remember.
To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man. It's what the job's all about. And that's why I can stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you a Bobby's good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes, admittedly. Sir!
Oh, Rolly, you're so manly.
Of course I am, my darling Patricia.
Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly.
No. None of this is what I meant. I meant... How can you say for certain that this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb?
Ah, I see, sir. Yeah, you should have said so earlier, sir.
Yes, well, so could you answer the question? That was a waste of time then?
Absolutely, sir. I will answer it to the fullest of my ability, sir. There's a surprising reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's domestic dispute can't be related to this case. But before I get into that, sir, just one thing.
Yes?
I'd very much like you and all your countrymen to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard. So I hope you'll take back some tales of us London bobbies and how we uphold our guiding principles.
I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just arrived here.
So to that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal. But I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears.
Thank you. I'll try.
Oh, we gotta read it, we gotta read it, we gotta read it. Hold on. Principles of policing. Item number 1. A policeman will strive to preserve the peace within his allotted beat. Item number 2. A patrolling officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day for the furtherance of community relations. Metropolitan Police Regulations. Item number 1.
Any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. Item number 2. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations to help detectives. Let me save my game, hold on. That's the face when I act so lovey-dovey. That's C's beef.
Hold it!
By which you mean they don't open fully. Is that correct?
Yes, sir! They're just there to allow a bit of air through the house, you see? They're restricted as to how much they open.
And therefore anything thrown out of the window from inside the room would simply strike the pane and fall to the street directly below. For clarity, allow me to mark this map. Here is the location where objects would have fallen.
Yes. Directly opposite of the scene of the crime on the other side of the wide road. Would it have been so hard for somebody to mention this top-hinged casement thing before? Well, I have another question for you, Constable.
And what would that be, sir?
How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house is furnished with?
Well, sir, that's very simple.
You see, I have to be Oh. Excuse me. Do you have something to add, Mrs. Beat?
Sorry.
You look, well, delighted. Is there some particular reason for that?
Oh, I was just remembering. That's all. We were really so lucky.
Lucky? What do you mean?
Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. But we were just so lucky it didn't happen on Rolly's beat. It was so close, you see.
Oh, I hadn't realized.
Oh yes, that street, Pryor Road. That's the boundary between Rolly's beat and the next one. Isn't that right, my love?
Constable Beat!
Well, yes, that's right. It's the reason I was helping with an interview in the occupants of the Garadeb household yesterday. Their house is on my beat, you see, sir.
I was really cutting it close then.
Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. If the Garadeb household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well?
Outside Mr. Garadeb's house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement of that side of the road is part of my beat.
I see. I was unaware of that.
Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of Briar Road, we would have never been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. But that's the life of a Bobby, after all.
Extraordinary people are Bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners.
Do you know what I think? I think it would be the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rolly for all of his hard work. Don't you think so, Schnookums?
That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it.
I think perhaps we should make sure we have that information officially on record.
Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately.
The case file's information has been updated in the court record.
And now it's my turn, I think.
Hold on. Young woman rendered unconscious following a stab wound to the back. Olive green, female, stout build, early 20s. Pavement of Briar Road, East Side. Reporting officer Rolly beat. The victim remains unconscious. Her name was gleaned from her personal effects. Other details are unknown. Apart from the single stab wound from the large knife, no other signs of injury were observed. The assailant was seen running away by reporting officer and successfully arrested that day. I don't get it. What was just updated?
Hold it!
But according to my notes here, the sun had gone down already and it was dark.
Oh, but Rolly and I were strolling along, gazing at the night sky, looking for our lucky star.
Imagine if I played the Lucky Star opening. Sorry?
Oh, you know that Japanese anime from the early 2000s? The star that will guide us to eternal happiness.
Can't it guide you to the question? If a flaming book had cut across the sky in front of us, it would have lit up like a shooting star.
And if I'd seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it. Let Rolly be an inspector, I would have said. 3 times at least.
Oh, you know what I would have said? It's the modern the pre-modern equivalent of I am so lucky everything will work out for me. I am so lucky everything will work out for me. I am so lucky everything will work out for me.
Of course, what with the smog and everything, we actually couldn't see any stars.
In short, are you trying to say that neither a book nor a knife crossed the sky before you?
Yes, sir! That is correct, sir! As sure as the night sky in London is starless, sir.
It certainly seems like they're telling the truth.
And then we saw the poor woman fall to the ground, so we ran straight over to help her.
Hold it!
1 second. I'm eating some dinner. Oh my god. This salad is so good. Except for the blue cheese. Oh, it's pretty good, yeah. Yes. You said that you went to a nearby police box to fetch another officer. Is that right?
That's right. Yes. If it had been a Rolly's beat, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course.
Don't feel bad, my love. You can't be expected to know the location of every police box on every beat.
So Rolly told me the way, only I sort of got a little lost on the way.
Patricia, my darling. That's why I love ya. Your terrible sense of direction is bewitching to me. Oh, Pat.
Oh, Rolly.
Oh, please. All right, Astrolo, take care. Thank you so much for hanging out. Get some good rest. We'll see you soon.
So I suppose I was gone for about 15 minutes. But like I said, my Rolly was at the scene the whole time, making sure nothing was disturbed.
I was off duty at the time, of course, but a true Bobby is never really off duty, sir.
Nothing to report.
That's correct, sir. I had my eyes open wide the entire time. Never looked away for a second. No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. I can swear that upon the yard's honor, sir.
Really? That seems a little strange.
Beg your pardon, sir. Strange, sir. Seems altogether regular to me.
This burnt copy of the Lion's Pride was originally in the Geradzib household. So the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime this entire time?
Aha! Could it be a different copy, sir? One that just happened to be burnt as well?
Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder.
Yeah. Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene.
Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back and how the book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them.
Can I ask you something? Please, Mr. Lawyer, sir?
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell.
What? I wasn't really. I mean, what's she doing?
Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am.
I really don't ever remember suggesting that I doubted you.
No excuses. I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. My lord, you'll let me speak, won't you?
Yes, Miss Beat. I will support women's wrongs and allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire. Sometimes the path of the least resistance is the sage one.
That was a very loud mutter.
I heard that! That Japanese man thinks a policewoman's wife word counts for nothing, does he? Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that, but my Rolly won't.
Duly noted, Mrs. Beat. Please, I humbly ask you to continue. What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder?
Hold it!
Mrs. Beat, nobody is questioning what you've told us.
I saw it, I did! That evening I saw it clearly! The little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny curved back slinking away from the scene. And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books or knives flying through the sky.
All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction?
Oh, yes, well, that's a little embarrassing, really. But I'm always ending up at the wrong place when I've made arrangements to meet Rolly. He gets ever so cross.
Excuse me.
Constable Beat, is there a problem?
No, sir. No problem, sir.
Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps?
You go, well, in a way, sir. Yes, sir. I was just remembering the same thing happened that evening, that's all.
Huh? You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident?
Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over for mine. She was gone a fair bit longer than what I was expecting. I thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, and my darling was gone a good 15.
Oh, Rolly, you're such a tease. But the reason I was so long was because of the bouquet, silly.
The bouquet?
Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about?
Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Rolly's so romantic. He saved up for it with his farthings and halfpennies he found in the gutter while doing his rounds.
Yes. How, romantic.
I'd forgotten all about it until just now. Had you, my darling?
Ah! Yeah. Oh, yes. But that, was just, between us. No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You have to promise.
Really? Oh.
What was that all about? Constable Beat looked very obviously troubled during that exchange.
I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruhodo. But I'm quite sure of one thing. We have to ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet.
Mrs. Beat! This bouquet you just mentioned. I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please.
Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to.
Hold it!
You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime?
Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset. When we ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back, I was so shocked, I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me. It was in a dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice at first.
And then you went to the police box to report it to the policeman whose beat it was on?
Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable, you see.
Viticella, welcome in.
And that's when I spotted my bouquet again. But the funny thing was, when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere near the victim's body at all.
In case you need reminding, Mrs. Beat, the victim is not deceased.
I was all flustered a moment before I heard a voice calling me from the other side of the road.
Your husband, presumably.
That's right. Silly me. I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street.
Happy for more Ace Attorney? I'm happy for more Ace Attorney.
Although I'm going to blame the bouquet this time. I can't think about how it got there. I really can't.
So the bouquet moved from one side of Briar Road to the opposite.
Curious indeed.
Isn't it? But the worst of it is, I forgot to pick up the bouquet again when we left the scene. That beautiful rose Rolly bought me, with that charred change from the gutter he spent so long collecting.
By bouquet, do you perhaps mean this sorry, solitary rose?
Oh, yes, that's it. That's the bouquet Rolly bought me for our anniversary, with old bits of change he found in the gutter.
Maybe just call it a rose.
Tell us, Lord Van Zykes, when did you come by the flower? According to the report, the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garadib household.
In front of the Garadib's house?
Although it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Could I have it back now, please?
No, I think for good measure, this rose should be added to the court record as evidence.
Oh.
Present for Patricia Beat from her husband, Rolly. The shock of seeing the stabbed victim caused Mrs. Beat to drop the rose where she stood.
But it's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial. Do you hear me? I want it back.
Good grief! Rest assured that I shall do my very best not to forget, Miss Beat. Can't find...
An English rose. It's such a beautiful flower.
Ah, this is a rose, is it? I've never seen one before.
Do you not take an interest in flowers, Mr. Naruhodo?
I wouldn't say that exactly, but I do know 3 types at least.
Gosh, 3?
Yes, plum blossom, peach blossom, and cherry blossom.
Perhaps you should consider branching out, learning that some aren't fruit tree based, for example.
It's very stylish paper that flower's wrapped in, isn't it?
It's just an old newspaper, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, I suppose it's because I'm not used to seeing English print. It looks so exotic to me. Greetings and salutations. I'm having a pretty good one. I think I might end soon because I'm getting a little bit tired, but...
I see.
Is something wrong?
Oh, no. I was just thinking that if you wrapped a stone-baked sweet potato in English newspaper, it might look like some sort of fancy cake.
Susato-san, you do love your cakes. Was this just flavor text? Is there anything else? Okay, I think that's all we need to read for this for now.
Hold it!
Nothing to report.
That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open the entire time, never looked away for the second. No one else approached the scene, and nothing was removed from it. I can swear that on the yard's honor, sir.
Really? That seems a little strange.
Beg your pardon, sir.
Seems altogether regular to me. This burnt copy of the Lion's Pride was originally in the Garadib household. So the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time?
Aha! Could it be a different copy, sir? One that just happened to be burnt as well?
Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder.
Well, sir, That book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene.
Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back and how the book ended up in her hand. Must be some common thread between. Oh shit, have I been rereading the same things? The whole idea of an invisible attacker has been troubling me all along. But I believe I'm starting to get a picture of what really happened here now. The fourth book that had no business being at the scene of the crime made me sure that Mrs. Garrett was hiding something from us. But it's becoming increasingly clear that someone else has been hiding something from us as well. I think I may already be armed with everything I need to strike a decisive blow here. This time, it's going to expose the whole truth about this mysterious affair. Really? I don't see anything. Let me save my game. The clouded kokoro. That's a lot of sa. I know, right? What would I present? Nothing strange to report on that front. The book is burned.
Objection!
Oh. No. 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 That was an error. That was an error. I'm new, so I don't have any details. No, it's fine. I don't really want to ask for help anyway, so it's all good.
Objection!
There we go! You claim, Constable Beat, that there was nothing to report in the 15 or so minutes you were guarding the scene. But that cannot be!
What do you mean to say?
Igiari! In your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat, you explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime with the policeman assigned to the beat, the bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby.
Objection! Yes, on the opposite side of Briar Road to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of that meager bouquet, if a single sorry bloom can be so described, no doubt it was blown in the wind across the street, back to the gutter where it belongs.
Meager?
Objection!
But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify the fact? I can say with confidence that Zykes didn't age well. Yeah, I like Zykes has a very handsome design, but I'm not a fan of the character. You know, maybe he gets better. Maybe he gets a redemption, but so far with how like they present him, it's not the same as Edgeworth at all.
No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore to that on Scotland Yard's honor. But the bouquet belonged to me. It has nothing to do with the case. That's why Rolly didn't mention it, I'm sure.
No, because sadly it's not only your bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way round.
What are you talking about?
Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garadeb's book. Mr. Garadeb's copy, The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out the window by his wife, would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here, on the west side of the street. And yet, it was actually found here, on the opposite side of the road in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Beat's bouquet should have been dropped here, at the scene of the crime on the east side of the street. But in fact, it was actually found here, on the opposite side of the road in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house. There's no logical explanation for these things, unless someone deliberately moved them.
What are you trying to say? The way you're talking, it sounds like you think my Rolly's done something wrong!
Don't you listen to a word that scrawny lawyer says? Wittering on about books and bouquets. Why should we care? It's nitpicking, that's what it is.
Oh, good. Miss Garadeb's come round. You might call it nitpicking, Mrs. Garadeb, but deliberately meddling with the scene of a crime is a criminal offense. It's called,
Tampering, Mr. Naruhodo.
But the person responsible for this tampering cannot admit to it. For a very subtle but compelling reason.
Objection! Tampering? You've barely heard the term before. Tell us, my learned friend, who would possibly have cause to carry out such an elaborate deception?
Yes, there is someone who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening. All the evidence and all the testimony points to that one particular person.
Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with your scene of the crime?
So we're saying it's Rolly, right? Please tell me. We're saying it's Rolly, right?
Take that!
Take that! Obviously, there's only one person it could have been. Constable Rolly Beat! It was you!
What? A policeman? A member of the Scotland Yard?
What nonsense! Why would my Rolly do something like that? There's no one straighter than my husband! No Bobby works more tirelessly for the people of London!
Mrs. Beat, you said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go to a nearby police box to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone had to tamper with it.
You're making it up! It's all nonsense! It's all lies! What about that Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him! He did it!
Objection!
If that was true, Constable Beat would have seen him do it.
Oh.
And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Miss Beat, it was after the defendant had fled the scene.
Well...
Objection! First you make accusations about the landlord and his wife. Now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusations lack one very important thing. You claim the crime scene was tampered with. But there is only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime. To hide something.
That That's right! He's right! But my husband and I just happened to be there, that's all! So why would we have anything to hide? It just doesn't make sense!
You've offered no motive to this alleged tampering. And until you do, your accusations are nothing but empty threats.
Constable Beat has very good reason for wanting to tamper with the scene of the crime. That's the key to this entire affair.
Mr. Naruhodo, have you managed to solve this mystery?
Counsel, you have made a very serious accusation against a London police officer. If you are mistaken, I'm sure I need no more. I'm sure I need not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. With that stark warning in mind, you will now explain to the court the motive of this alleged tampering.
Yes, my lord. Constable Beat's motive for tampering with the crime scene was... Oh God, I don't know, what is it? Where the victim fell, because the victim fell on the flowers. Where the victim fell to the ground. That is what the lobby has to cover up at all costs.
What?
Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of Briar Road, we saw it happen, remember? It was right there, as if anybody didn't already know.
That's certainly what everybody has been led to believe. But in fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all.
What?
I'm beginning to wonder where this tumultuous trial will end, Counsel. If that's your assertion, then the court is dying to know my Nipponese friend. Where are you proposing that the crime actually took place that evening?
I'm proposing that it was...
Take that!
Take that!
But that's on the opposite side of the road.
I don't understand.
On the evening in question, Mr. Garridib's book fell directly down from the open window above, and your bouquet, Miss Beat, never moved at all. What did move was the scene of the crime itself!
Good gracious!
Objection!
Perhaps you didn't been listening to the ample testimony the court has heard. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place.
That's right, I saw it with my own eyes.
It was 5 o'clock in the evening and already dark. There was typical London fog on the ground. When you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid. That was actually on the west side of Briar Road.
No, that's not true. It can't have been.
Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent for a while sending you for help. And during the 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved all the things shown in this print, the victim herself, the 4 books. He moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Briar Road.
Extraordinary!
But the constable overlooked one thing.
What? What did he overlook?
The bouquet, I presume?
Exactly. The prosecution told the court just a few minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord Van Zyke said it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light.
Yes, it couldn't be seen in the dark, obviously.
Which is why it was only the bouquet that was found in its original position on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road. And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond? Constable Royally Beat? Royally Beat! Oh my god! I get the pun.
Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important?
Oh, Rolly. It isn't true, is it? What that lawyer said is all lies, isn't it? I know it is, because you're the most upstanding, righteous man that I know.
Yeah. I had a dream. A terrible dream. All the things I did that night. Everything come out. Everything exposed. Only it seems it wasn't a dream at all.
Good golly!
Order! What on earth is the meaning of all this?
Oh, Rolly, why? Why did you do something like that? Moving a corpse it's a criminal offense, isn't it?
Wishing the victim dead should be one too.
Constable, explain yourself! Why did you do this? As a respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London town.
I can't say, sir.
What?
I really am ever so sorry about all this. For damaging the Yard's reputation. For everything.
I have a possible explanation. For why, on that particular evening, Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason.
What? How could you possibly know? You, a foreigner, presuming to understand the mind of a Scotland Yard policeman. And yet, Lord Van Zyke, it is this foreigner who's uncovered the startling truth of the matter thus far. I believe it would be beneficial to the court to hear this extraordinary young lawyer's theory. Counsel for the defense, if you please.
Yes, my lord.
Now then, I think you'd better show us some evidence.
At once, my lord. England, Japan. It makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. And I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions.
What gives away the motive for Constable Beat's unthinkable actions?
Well, I would know because I am a man that has a boyfriend. So, it is the rose.
Take that!
I realize that I'm a foreigner in this land, and I've only just arrived from Japan, which is all why this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learned that, though honorable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example.
Keeping the peace, looking after the citizens of his beat in all kinds of ways. There's no doubt that the young Bobby is charged with a great deal to do each day, certainly.
But, for Constable Beat, the day in question was special.
Special? How?
On account of this bouquet, my lord.
Oh, yes! It was our very first wedding anniversary.
Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife, and was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal.
When he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon a crime along Briar Road.
When he saw that shadowy figure through the fog collapse on the pavement ahead of them, what must have gone through that man's mind? But sir, just on that particular day I was looking forward to celebrating my wife's anniversary! The great Ace Attorney, my beloved! Yeah, it's true! Ryunosuke Naruto, my beloved! Hey Tara, welcome in.
Mrs. Beat puts up with a lot of being married to a Bobby like me. I wanted to show the dear wife how much I care. Hey, look.
This is the warrant that Constable Beat offered to lend me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist in the initial investigations and help detectives.
Aha!
Constable Beat. Is that or is that not the reason why you moved the whole scene of the crime that day?
Yes. Everything you said, it's all right.
So, that's it.
Bruno, oh, your little emote's so cute. I love him so much. I want to give him a big old... I love him. He's so cute. He's so cute.
It was all to do with the boundary of your beat.
He's hot. You're talking about Ryunosuke, right? Ryunosuke's hot.
Oh.
Exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat.
Good gracious! Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you've done?
It was the first time since I became a Quappa that I'd ever cursed God.
Stay close to me, Pat! That criminal could still be lurking somewhere!
As we ran over to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer.
We've got to report this to the station as quickly as possible!
But then it dawned on me. I realized where we were, where the victim was lying, and what that meant for me. When a crime is discovered on his beat, policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Why here?
Why did this have to happen here? And why tonight of all nights? Why?
It's a Quappa's job to guard the scene of the crime. So, I told Pat she'd have to go to the nearest police box and fetch whoever was on duty there.
It was then when I opened my mouth to speak. It just came out. I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my own mouth. This is the beat next to mine, Pat.
Oh, my bad. This is the beat next to mine, Pat. So you'll have to go to the police box that covers it. Turn right along Meerschaum Street, and then...
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Constable. I just want just that one night to take my Patricia out for dinner. Oh, Rolly. Just that one night.
You knew that if the incident was on your beat, your evening of celebration would be ruined. And so you decided to move the entire crime scene outside your jurisdiction. Just across the street to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighboring beat's care.
You see, I thought, well, I was sure to be the victim was dead, you see.
I beg your pardon?
Oh, of course he did. Otherwise, my Rolly would never have left the poor woman in the freezing cold pavement.
Ah, I see your meaning now.
But God got me back from my sins, didn't he? That's why. That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat. Oh no, Rolly. That was all my fault. I should never have dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rolly.
And can you tell us, Constable? How many books did you move from one side of the road to the other in total?
Four. It was... Yes, definitely 4. 3 of them dropped by Mr. Natsume, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Garrett household, of course.
But what made you place that book in the victim's hand? When all the others were scattered haphazardly around, I mean.
Oh, well, it's because that's how I found it.
How you found it? What do you mean?
When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So, when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand.
You're sure it was this book, The Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding?
Oh, yes, sir. No doubt about it, sir.
Interesting. The 4th book's information has been updated in the court record.
I thought it was an open and shut case at the time, you see. There were only the two people at the scene. Both me and Pat both saw it happen. However, which way you look at it, it had to be the fellow who ran off who done it, I thought. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road would make a jot of a difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it.
My lord.
Oh my god, it's so hard because I'm actually crying. So like, it's so hard switching back voices. Let me drink my water. Oh my god.
My lord. Yes, Lord Van Dykes? I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witness. Constable, you may withdraw.
Yes, sir! Mr. Prosecutor, sir. What will become of my Rolly? What will happen to him?
For now, you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course.
He gives off such angry I don't know, just the racism really turns me off.
Please, don't punish my husband. This was my fault. It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming home late. Leave it now, Pat. Let's go home. I'm tired.
Like, I'm not gonna fault him. I don't think it's completely, like, obviously, like, you know, that's just how he was. Like, you have to remember, in the context of the era and what's going on, like, Europe or Britain itself, like, has this huge superiority complex where, like, you know, they think they are the center of the world and all that. And so, like, I think it's more of like they look down on everyone rather than just we were specifically targeting Japanese people. But yeah, like, like, a lot of the characters here from Britain are like, oh, you're Japanese. Oh, you're just Japanese. And that, you know, like, I'm not going to excuse that.
All right then, my love.
One last thing, Constable.
Sir?
Let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation,
I was going to say, what is it? What do they say in the SVU opening quote? Opening speech?
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories. Every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you.
Yes, sir.
Carve that lesson to your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of a crime.
Huh? Never again, sir. You mean to say?
Leave. Now. This trial is not over yet.
Sir!
Well, quite a startling revelation, I must say. Whoever thought of a third party transplanting the entire scene of a crime like that? Indeed, my lord. Nevertheless, there are some immutable fake facts here. Principally,
we can fix him, teach him some manners.
that the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is the only person who could possibly have committed the crime.
Objection!
No! I disagree! Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. Another person who could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back!
Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of this possibility already.
Lord Van Zykes, is that true? Very well. Name the person, if you will, and if further investigation is warranted. The prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing. You will name this other person who has committed the perpetrated crime.
So obviously it's the wife, so we gotta call her in, and then when we call her in, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream.
Take that!
Take that! The defense would once again like to request the cross-examination of a new witness, my lord.
Once again?
My assistant made the same request earlier. In order to finally reveal the truth about this case, it's imperative that we cross-examine juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garadeb.
Me? Oh, dearie me.
Objection!
That request has already been denied.
Objection!
But the situation is very different now. Mrs. Garadeb, answer me this. What do you want now, you little toad? At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Garadeb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited. And to clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened a window that looks over Briar Road. Well, what of it? You threw this book at your husband when he was cornered with his back against the window. Upon striking the pane of the open-top hinged casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we know to be the true scene of the incident. Yes, and as I said, what of it? During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on. So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Garadeb. This knife, the one removed from the victim, have you really never laid eyes on it before?
I don't recall it.
Seriously?
Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, the man over there in all that regalia said the members of the jury needn't testify, didn't he?
Conveniently, yes.
Objection!
No! I have no recollection of saying that at all, juror number 4.
Oh!
Make no mistake, you jurors are not special in any way. You are not immune to the judicial process. If you know something about this knife, madam, let the truth come out.
But that's just a common or garden knife. It could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know?
What's that?
Are you joking? What are you saying? Please, Miss Garadeb?
I like to imagine every prosecutor in Ace Attorney world looks at a case and like, this is open and shut. Wait, the defense attorney is that guy. Is this gonna make this king go? Yeah, exactly.
Now you listen to me. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I'd injured someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it.
Oh, the poor woman.
So yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault.
You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife, if that's what you think.
Come along now. Chop chop. Do your worst.
Well, Mr. Naruto, if I had evidence like that, believe me, I would have thrown it at her already.
Then take the stand, juror.
Oh!
The prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman.
Thank you, Lord Van Zykes.
I'm going to have to testify? Juror number 4. As I'm sure you will appreciate, having observed it with your own eyes today. Witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed. Truths of which the witnesses themselves may not even be aware.
Oh, dearie me!
So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Garadeb.
He's being so cooperative.
And mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels? Certainly, my lord.
Oh, that's what I'm hoping for, my lord. This is such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. I'm here, in the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer. Okay, I am definitely gonna end here because I feel like this might be the last section of this case. So, I'm gonna call it here. Because it looks like we have a good meaty chunk that'll last us the next stream of this game. Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. I hope you guys had fun going through this case with me. I'm so excited to have gotten back to the great Ace Attorney. You guys know how much I love this series so dearly. This is so much fun. And thankfully I was able to remember the details of the case, even though it's been a little bit. But, it's getting juicy. It's getting extremely juicy. Mark my words, this will be the first thing that we get back to once I'm back from vacation. It is going to be a little bit of a break until we come back to this because I will be going on vacation. But regardless, this is a lot of fun. This was so much fun. I really hope you guys had fun with me. But anyways, thank you guys so much for coming out. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for the stream, Rest Well. Thank you so much for being here, Cube Bunny. Thank you guys so much. We are going to be raiding Clover Kiyomi, who's currently playing Valorant. So if you guys can, please give her a hiya, hey. Send her some love if you have access to my emotes. Actually, you guys can use the follower emotes. If you guys are followers, you don't even have to be subbed. So please join me in sending some love to her. I will try tomorrow. I'm gonna try and see if I can do a stream where we react to the Nintendo Direct together, because I really want to see what's coming up for that. You know, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So if I can, I'll try doing it at 2 p.m. tomorrow when it goes live. If I can't do 2 p.m., then I'll try sometime later. I'll do a day where I'll do a stream where we go over it. And then obviously on a Thursday, we will be having our Bon Voyage Disney karaoke. So you guys definitely don't want to miss that one because that one is going to be unarchived. So yes, we have some stuff before I go on vacation. And of course, I need to show you guys really quickly. I do have graphics that I've prepared, but just for the VOD, in case anyone wants to check them out while I am gone, I have 2 little sheets that I made for you guys. These are recommendations of my friends and their streams that you guys should check out while I'm away. We have Reizna, Hanchu, Empty Bomb, and Tikoyaki. And then I have another page with Brian Heals You, Crazily Geeky, Tantan Tater, and Clover Kiyomi. So please, I will post this on Twitter, but for the VOD, I'll show that as well. We're gonna go ahead and raid Clover. So thank you guys so much. Take care. I'll see you soon. Make sure you give yourselves a nice stretchy before bed. Drink your water. And if you need to take medication, don't forget to take the medication. I'll see you guys soon. Otsu Kieran, take care. Good night, guys. Bye-bye.